here we are for a podcast interview of a person who is a mixture of spirituality and management. Even he has been honored with the Sardar Patel's National Award 2009 for his research on Chanakya and his principles. A man is great by deeds, not by birth. Very true lines by Chanakya, which is perfectly proved by corporate guru Dr. Radhakrishnan Pillai. Welcome, sir. Welcome to the podcast.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Asif. It's an honor to be part of your show.
It's an honor for us to have you in our podcast.
Thank you so much. It's mutual.
Yes, sir. So basically, this podcast is coming back to life, and the basic theme which revolves around is all about people who are born rich with imagination and abilities to do whatever they want to, but later on they become poor with imagination and abilities to grow only because of conditioning. So I believe that it's basically all about management of how people manage things, and when they manage things, they create a space for their work-life balance, their family-life balance, and whatever thing. Because people, basic thing which they want is healthy, wealthy, and wise, as from earlier it is said. So I just wanted to, who can be a better person than you to explain management and spirituality both. So just wanted to know, like how it can be taken. Just want so that people can learn from this step-by-step process, that how they can manage things and how they can mold themselves to create an understanding of their own life.
Absolutely. I think as if you started with the word imagination, I think that's how we start in life. As a child, we imagine many things, and also we wonder about a lot of things happening around. We are curious to know why it works, how it works, etc. So I think human beings right from the beginning like to imagine, wonder, and look at different possibilities. But as you grow wiser, as you grow elder, you have to put logic to that imagination. That's where the difference between dreams and goals are. See, I can dream to be number one in, let's say, sports or in business. That's imagination. Nothing wrong in that. You should think big, you should dream big. But if you really want to be successful, then you have to put a plan and say that, okay, I'm an entrepreneur now, so let me now make a plan, maybe a 5-year plan or 10-year plan, to make sure that I actually become number one in my particular field. So imagination is a starting point, but imagination doesn't guarantee success. So when you have dreams, aspirations, goals, imaginations, curiosity, I think it's very, very important, because you don't think logically. You think out of the box, you think differently, you think sometimes, which others can't even imagine. But then you come back to the real world and say, okay, how to make it possible? So somebody, maybe around a few centuries ago said, we all can fly like birds. Don't imagine now. But then some people say, no, it's possible. We don't have wings as human beings. They say, okay, let us try some logic to it, and you put in, observe the birds. What does that law of nature that makes a bird fly, not human beings? So over a period of time, you study the birds, you study the nature, and say that, I don't have wings, but can have artificial wings, which can actually, if I attach to myself, become like a bird. And that's how over a period of time, the whole aeronautical engineering field came in.
Exactly.
And today, if you look at that, imagination is a reality. We have the whole industry called the aviation, where people fly.
Exactly, sir.
So the next part of the question was interesting, and that's very close to my heart, is spirituality. Because I've been spiritual and been part of a spiritual family, my parents, my gurus, right from my childhood. And I think spirituality gives you the courage, spirituality gives you the strength on believing yourself and also believing God. So when you believe yourself, that's called self-confidence. But if you only believe yourself, it can become overconfidence.
Exactly.
So there's a very fine balance between self-confidence alone, but also clubbing up that particular confidence with God. Whatever form you call it, the God, that's different, but you say it's a higher power which can guide me. So the way I look at is youngsters especially, if they can get into spirituality, the earlier the better. There are three reasons why spirituality is important early in life. But many people have this funny idea that spirituality is post-retirement activity. It is not true. Saying that, Bhagwan ka puja karte hain, and they do some activity. I don't believe that's right. In fact, I believe that it's like Google Maps, okay? So you're going to an unknown place and you first put the Google Map and look at different ways to reach your destination. You look at the time, you look at which are the roadblocks. Spirituality actually is like a guiding map which tells you how to reach where you want. And the best part about spirituality is that you also have other friends and mentors and gurus who will be on the way. So it's never a lonely path. So there's another funny idea that spirituality is all about I, me, myself. It is not. Once you get to the spiritual path, you have spiritual friends. They will tell you because they are also on the same journey. They also have the challenges. When you sit down and meditate, you have the same thoughts which affects him or her and affects him or her. So you discuss. So spirituality is about a group of people trying to be better than what they are. So finally, the spiritual guru, mentor, guide, whatever you call it, plays a very important role because we are the starting part of the journey while the mentor guru is already ahead of us and they have already reached the destination. They will tell you this is the way to go for it. Coming back to the last part of your question, what are the steps to become successful in life? From imagination to reality.
Exactly, sir. That's what I wanted to decode it.
Yes. So I think there are three steps to it. The first is please keep imagining. There is nothing wrong.
Exactly, keep imagining.
Keep imagining, keep thinking, dream out of the box, think different possibilities. Even if the world doesn't believe it, that's fine. As Steve Jobs put it. Continue. So it's imagine. It's very important to imagine. That Steve Jobs also put it very nicely, saying that the people who think crazy are actually the people who change the world. So be crazy, and a little bit of craziness is required in whatever you do. I am crazy about Chanakya. So that imagination is the first step, but the second step is to convert that into a plan. And you should always put a deadline. Suppose you are starting a business. A lot of people start a business and then they don't have a plan. I always tell people that business is not an idea. It's an idea as a starting point, but it has to be converted into plans, numbers, deadlines. You should have a strategy. So what we call it from the right brain and the left brain combination. So one part of your brain is about creativity. The second part is about logic. So put numbers into it. And if you want to do something, I always say that, put efforts for at least 3 years. A lot of people who imagine they keep changing the idea from time to time. Don't change your ideas. Stick to it, but ideas will improve. And after 3 years, you'll get a hang over it. And even if you're into a business or anything in life, you see there's a financial cost to it. You have to pay money, and especially you reach a stage in your life where people dependent on you, your family, your parents, your friends, whatever. So I think it's very important to also understand that after you have a plan, you actually start thinking logically. So one is creative imagination, second is logic. The third most important is that look at it long term. People just start and they quit. Start and they quit. It doesn't happen. In fact, there is a theory which says, first 3 years is about sticking to the goal. Next 30 years is sticking to your plan.
So basically, it make them understand whether that is the actual thing they want to do or not.
Yes. No, that is in the initial stage. But once you find out what you are supposed to do, then don't leave it. Because you will get confused. So initial stage is about experimentation.
Okay.
But the next stage is about sticking to the plan. Like if you look at somebody like Jeff Bezos at Amazon, he started the e-commerce industry by selling books. Right? So Amazon was not an online bookstore, but over a period of time, it evolved into an e-commerce, online shopping. But he also realized that it's important. But he never left that path of e-commerce. He stuck to it. So all successful people stick to it. So what's important is that once you find your path, once you find your purpose, once you find your goal, don't leave it. So there will be some ups and downs. So there are, as I say, Hindi mein छोटे problem आते तो छोड़ो मत.
Okay.
So just to sum it up, I'll tell you there are three kinds of people. The first kind of people is those who never start thinking about the problem. The second one is start with a lot of passion, josh, and once they reach the problem, they will quit the path. So first, never start. Second, start. It's looking at the problem, we stop. The third are the successful people who start, face the problem, and stop not till they reach the goal. So imagine, make a plan and go for it. And never turn back till you succeed.
Fine, sir. So, as you said, like, this is stepwise things. So, just wanted to decode, like, to make people understand, like, this spirituality and management. Both are very much important in life to understand, like, what you want to do and who you are. Because who you are comes from spirituality, and what you want to do comes under management. Like, you do only those things which will bring an impact in further period of time. So that's how you manage things. Like, instead of doing something which won't bring any fruitful thing in near future, it's of like kind of wasting your time.
Sure.
I that's my personal belief, and that's what I believe. So just wanted to understand, like, does management and spirituality both go in hand, or first you should go with spirituality, understand yourself, then you should try going for doing things later on?
Absolutely. So there are two different paths, there are two different disciplines, spirituality by itself and management by itself. But if you can club both of them, which I have tried to do in my life, you'll find an amazing thing. So I'll tell you the reason why. See, spirituality is almost like finding a purpose in your life, finding a vision in your life, and management is the process of how to reach there.
Exactly.
So if you can mix the both, like for example, 20 years ago when I became an entrepreneur, I had no goal in my life. I was 27, and I was like wondering, because I was already successful in my own little way. I had been working in the sports management field. I used to work at a very senior management position. I was qualified with a management degree and all those things. But then I said, this is not what I want to do. So I asked myself this question, and I went to my spiritual gurus. I was saying that, instead of looking out for another job, look at creating jobs. So that was like, wow, entrepreneurship 20 years ago. And I don't come from an entrepreneur's family. So I got a plan that I need to do something different, but I did not know what. But that's, about spirituality. Doing something different, especially when your gurus are telling you. But then, I'm a management person. I said, okay, different means what? So I actually sat down and made a plan. It is called self-management. I said, what is my plus, minus, what are my strengths and weaknesses, what are my experiences in life. And I come to know, okay, this is what I will do. And I actually made a management plan for myself. For achieving success, I need to start a business. But I don't know business, so I need to have mentors, business gurus helping me what to do. Then I need to get qualified, I need to study further. I need to build a team. I need to understand finances. So the plan is management. A process to it. When I started 27, I was not even aware whether I will succeed or no. But when you have a plan, it's better to fail with a plan than to succeed without a plan.
Exactly.
People suddenly also कैसे हो गया पता नहीं. So management is the planning process, the whole ability to get people together, get your finances right. So you think very logically. So coming back, when you're only doing a management person, you may not have a vision. And only having a vision may not be really management. So the spirituality is about vision, management is about a process. When it becomes spiritual management, success is guaranteed.
Exactly, sir. Very, very well explained by Dr. So, so when we think about, like, when you come upon things like, okay, this is what I want to do. As in, like you said right now, that the process you make people understand, like the process, like what and how they should do. But what about, like, most of people, they don't have purpose in life because they don't understand, like, what they want to do.
Okay.
So that's the basic, or like the first initial stage which people lack. So if you can touch upon that, it will be very great. Like, I believe, like, most of the people are seriously searching for this question, which is, what is the purpose? What is the purpose in of my life to our, like, their existence? So if you can.
Absolutely. In fact, there's a saying that the only purpose of your life is to find your purpose.
Yes, sir.
So, people mix up purpose with activity.
Mm-hmm.
People mix up purpose with passion. So people are like, oh, I'm passionate about this, I'm passionate about it. You can start with a passion. It's important because you have a Josh. But your passion may not be your purpose. So let me tell you, Mahatma Gandhi, okay? If you remember a very famous story, that he was actually a purposeless lawyer. He was a lawyer, qualified, and like any other assignment, he went to South Africa. That's all. Okay. So Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi, the barrister, the lawyer that we know, was a person who was practicing law. That's it. He went to South Africa, and there came a moment in his life when he was pushed out of the train. Then he said, "Okay, this is not done." So the birth of Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi to Mahatma Gandhi was that moment. He said, "Listen, this is not accepted," and that became a purpose in his life. And that purpose became so strong. It is not passion, huh? It is not being loud. It's a very silent moment that happened. Okay, then अंदर से घंटी बजती है. Ping. Then say, okay, I'm ready to give my life for it. He was successful in South Africa. He was called back to India. They actually dethroned the whole British Empire. Gandhiji himself said, once you have a purpose, the means will follow. If that moment had not happened, where he was pushed out of the train, probably he would have created a company called M.K. Gandhi and Sons. That's the only thing. He would have created another law firm and his children would have continued. But the purpose is larger than life. And the purpose is never about yourself. How do you differentiate passion with a purpose? Passion is about I, me, myself. So passion is very, very individual and sometimes it can become very selfish. But purpose is for others. So if you look at Mother Teresa, she's a person with purpose. If you look at Abdul Kalam, he said, listen, it's for the country. If you look at many, many people who have done a lot of amazing work, they went beyond themselves. So the fine difference between passion and purpose is that it has to be far larger than what you are. And as they say, you are ready to die for it if required. And let me tell you, purpose is very quiet. Passion is very loud. Karenge, yay. It will die off. But passion versus purpose. Purpose is very quiet. As you said, tell me, it's very silent. Rings a bell. Coming back, is there a process to find your purpose? Of course there is. That's the beauty of it. I have one suggestion for everyone. Just take out one day with yourself. One day. I would suggest that, maybe talk to God, whatever your gurus, pray. Whichever higher power you believe in. And then what you do is that take a day off. Maybe tell your family and friends that I'm not available for that. Go to a quiet place. And one day you can do digital detox also.
Exactly. So nowadays people are distracted so much that they don't get time for themselves to understand themselves.
Absolutely. So you go to a particular place, you sit on the and say, oh God, I don't have a purpose in my life. Give me a purpose.
That's not at all possible.
Believe me, if you just surrender yourself and say, मुझे तो पता नहीं है मेरी जिंदगी का क्या लक्ष्य है, but कुछ तो लक्ष्य दे. Then you take a pen and paper. Not a mobile, physical pen and paper. All of us know to read and write. Okay? Sit down in a corner and start writing. What is the purpose of my life? And keep listening to yourself and start writing down. You know, my purpose is to do this, my passion is to do this, da. And after you start, just write. Don't think logically. Write. Then suddenly a point will come in, you can't think more. But you have written everything. You look at it and say, oh, I think this is what I'm meant to do. And in this process with myself. Then you say, okay, wait. Is it just writing now? Again think about it. Start writing. Again think about it. So 3-4 times when you go to the end of the whole thing, it's like an experiment with yourself. So if you look, remember the school days, we started used to do laboratory experiments. So there was an aim, and then there was a process, and all those. Yes. In the end of it, there is a conclusion. So it's an experiment with yourself. After you do many times, finally you say, oh, this is what I'm meant for. Now here is the catch. Suddenly you say, oh, this is what I'm meant for. How do you know whether it is imagination or is it a purpose? That's why it said, please verify with somebody more mature than you are. So suppose you found your purpose in mathematics. Now you want to be an artist, you want to be a poet, an author, any field, okay, or a businessman for that matter. Now you have sat down and you decided and concluded that I have a purpose in my life to do something in the field of arts, or science, or technology, or business, or politics. It depends on every individual. And every individual is born for something. So once you find it, how do you know? What you do is that you verify it with an expert. So if you realize your passion is maths, go to a maths teacher and say, sir, I think I'm going to... he will judge you because he's already an expert. Okay, yeah, go for it. Lucky are the people who actually find their purpose much before the confusion starts. I remember there was a school friend of mine, and he used to write and sketch. One art teacher actually told his mother saying that your son is very good in sketching. I think he's a born artist. Oh, child of two, second standard. Today, he is India's one of the #1 architects. So if you see malls in India, all the multiplexes that you see, 9 out of 10 are designed by him. So he is very passionate, he's found his purpose and he's the best in this field already. But it required somebody else to actually verify it and say, listen, this is what you're good at. So sometimes we realize what I'm good at, but how do you know? So verify it with an expert of that particular field and say, yes, you're good at it. Then you don't have to look back.
Fine, sir. It is very well explained by you. I suppose like people should take out time for themselves, which like step by step if we go, that's the first process like to understand themselves, which comes with spirituality and everything. Then when you get that imagination and like you understand yourself and then you work upon that imagination with the process by managing everything, you come to the step by step process of where you want to reach. So that's how you come back to your life. In that concern, I would just make you people understand like, yeah, even as Sir said, I also suggest like, take some time out for yourself. Get aware about what you're thinking, what you believe, and yes, work upon it. Take that baby steps, like take some time out, then sit down with yourself and then just do whatever you want to do and understand, okay, this is who I am, this is what I want to do. I would love to sum it up in this way, but it was really great learning with Radha sir. It was really great, sir. Like, it was so well explained by you that if people can really think upon it and work upon it, they can understand and find their purpose in life and they can really get back to their life. So this is what is all about, coming back to life.
And life is beautiful.
Yeah, that's it.
Life may have a lot of problems, but don't start looking at life negatively because some negative incidences happened in your life. It could be some interpersonal relationship, it could be some failures in life, some expectations that did not match, but don't take it as a permanent thing. Even this will pass away.
So as Sir said, life is beautiful. Let me tell you all that I have got a photography page also, which is known as Life is Beautiful.
Wow! So nice.
It's on Instagram. I'll give the handle below down.
And give it to me.
Yeah, sure, sir. It's really nice.
Please tag also.
Yeah, sure, sir.
So I did not know this passion and the purpose part of yours, the photography part of it. Wow.
That's just parts that I keep on doing, like, as you said, like, whatever you felt like, just keep on working with it. If it continues, then you carry on. If not, then understand, like, maybe this is not for you. Yes. And you should carry on with whatever thing you believe, it's for you.
Absolutely. So understand what is not meant for you. But I pray to God that all of you realize what is meant for you at the earliest.
Exactly.
Otherwise you'll be lost.
True, sir.
And you had amazing in this beautiful show. Thank you so much.
Thanks a lot.